take no loss. Yeah, I don't even know what it costs. Yeah, I hit the ground and it go off. Yeah, hit the ground and it go off. Yeah, run it. Ooh, I really feel it's my time. Think it's my year. Yeah.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. It's another week here on the morning show here on Stock Market TV. I'm Spencer. I've got Steve. I've got JC. I've got Chart Master Alfonso lurking backstage. We got a lot going on. What a week we just had. What a week for the market. What a week for small caps, huh? When's the last time we were able to say that? What a week for small caps. It's been a while, right? It's been a while. Okay, so the deal today, we got some charts, obviously. We're going to talk about stocks. We're going to talk about crypto. We might talk about bonds. We'll talk about whatever is on your mind as well. If you have a question, drop it in the chat. Oh, thank you, Joe. I got a haircut on, I think it was Thursday, and I was out Friday, so you guys didn't see me. I should add, the reason I'm wearing a sweater is because it's freaking cold, man. I don't have heat right now. I'm freezing. Anyway, you don't want to hear about that. You want to hear about JC and Steve's charts, so let's bring them on, and let's start. Hit that like button. Let's go.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Does anybody ever get hangovers after a 1-year-old's birthday party? Because there's a lot of hangovers out in the Lehigh Valley after yesterday's festivities.
How'd it go? Banger.
Dude, could you believe this shit? Minnie Mouse forgot her costume. We were supposed to have Mickey and Minnie, and Mickey was a no-show. Alexandra, my daughter, this morning, she's like, Minnie was sick yesterday. Why was Minnie sick?
I think your theory about these performers is ringing truer and truer every day.
Yeah, but Mickey was a big hit. The open bar at the 1-year-old's birthday party was also huge hit. For your future birthday parties, we will not be having open bar, or JC and Daddy's not going to have any more money because
it was at your house though, or you were at a place?
No, we were at a restaurant. We had a restaurant. There's like this whole thing.
Yeah.
Man, my friends or my kids' parents could really drink. So no more open bars at our birthday parties. One and done. Right, pun intended. Funny. But it was fun, dude. It was like a mini wedding. It was absurd. There were so many people there. People were boozing. The music was popping off. The food was out of control because it was like at a legit restaurant. You know,
it seems so unnecessary to me.
But completely unnecessary. 100% unnecessary.
It's a big birthday, Spencer.
It was a bull market birthday party, no question. My wife's a little over the top. There's 2 kids turning 1. So the way my wife justified it, it's like, well, think about how much it costs to have 2 different birthday parties, right? So anyway, the kids got a lot more toys. Like, we need more freaking toys around here.
Well, you'll have to tell the kids. They'll see the real Minnie soon enough, right?
That's right. When we go to Disney and spend another irresponsible amount of money at Disney World. That's right. By the way, my friend Dave, who I've told you about, got the kids Jordans. Kids got some sweet Jordans.
Oh, what a cool gift. That's awesome.
Great gift, because that's actually practical as opposed to another freaking truck. You know, like, I got enough trucks. You know, they need shoes, damn it. We need shoes. All right. Anyway, I wanted to get that off my chest. A little venting. Yeah. Good times, though. Good times.
All right. Should we go into state of the markets?
I think we should. All
right.
All right, Mr. Strazza, I want to bring up a chart that, it's funny. You know, the truth gets a lot of people upset. And I know that because I only speak the truth around here because we are facts only, right? Because it's, we are price driven, data driven. Mm-hmm. So I just share facts. And the truth bothers a lot of people. Why don't we go to truth number 1?
Yeah.
Small caps are in an uptrend. Ready? Look, even Strazza doesn't like it. What is this? Is this a downtrend?
JC, what?
Is this a downtrend?
Not an uptrend. It's not an uptrend. Come on.
All right.
Listen.
All right. Well, I don't know where you grew up in Connecticut, but where I grew up, Uptrends are a series of higher lows and higher highs. And what is this?
Okay, so it's a structural uptrend. You're zooming way out here. It's a structural uptrend. Fine.
Right? That's right. That's right. Now move on to the next one to zoom in on just what has transpired over the last year. Former resistance turning into support. Mr. Strazza, Polarity 101. Isn't this what Edwards and McGee were talking about in the 1940s? Isn't this that?
Yeah, and I also think, I mean, how perfect is it that we are getting, in my opinion, an initiation thrust and a lot of momentum indicators.
There he goes again. Drink. Every time Strazza says thrust, you got to take a swig.
No, but let's talk about that. This was the biggest week for small caps really since COVID. One of the biggest weeks since COVID. Like there were a couple weeks in 2021 that were slightly bigger.
Yep.
Small caps haven't seen a week like this in years, is the point. Off of this key support level, I mean, that the bulls have already defended so many times.
Yep. Defended it once again. Impressive outing there for the small caps last week. But JC, but the large caps are leading and the small caps are they're just being lagging behind, JC. Lagging behind. It's like, well, yeah. The large caps are in fact leading. Why don't you go to the next chart there? Because I like to remind people, there's like 100 years. There's more than 100 years. We've all seen the interest rates charts that go back to 3000 BC. But just
Love those.
I do love those.
Love them.
But on a serious note, just in the last 100 years, you got plenty of data. And one thing you'll find, and I encourage everybody to study bull markets, study the bear markets too, right? Study all prior markets.
Yep.
And one thing you'll notice about some of the greatest bull markets in history, and even the ones that are not so great, one thing you'll notice is the small caps underperform all the time. More often than not, from what I could tell. No?
Why is small cap performance such a misunderstood data point by so many analysts? I hear so many people come on and say things like the Russell 2000 is the ultimate risk barometer. It's really not.
No,
You're
it's
making
not.
a very important point. I think.
The only people that are saying that are people who are either really bad at math or they haven't actually taken the time to look.
Yeah.
One or the other.
Yeah. They hear things, it sounds good, it makes sense, but it's not true.
Yeah, no, it makes you sound like an idiot.
So is it fair to say, JC, that small caps don't have to do anything in a bull market? They don't have to outperform, they don't have to underperform. We don't know.
I
Right?
mean, I could point to bull markets like in the 2000s, for example. Small caps outperformed. Look at the 90s, small caps underperformed. Look at the 80s, small caps underperformed. Look at the 2010s, small caps underperformed. Look at this time. Look at this bull market.
It's not really an interest rate thing either, I don't think, right?
No, because we've seen it both ways. That's a great point. It's not an interest rate thing either. That's right. Yep, interest rates falling, rising. No, we're just not seeing it. There are times within these bigger trends where small caps outperform, like last week, right? How much were small caps up last week? Do we have a final tally?
7.5. Hold on, I'll tell you exactly how much.
It was. It's not even that much.
7.5%. That's a lot, dude. It's a lot.
How much were trannies up? 7%. So they slightly outperformed transportation index. The transports were up 1,000 points, bro. 1,000 points in the Dow transports last week.
Huge move. Absolutely.
Nobody cares about transports. It's fascinating to watch people not care about transports. By the way, let's just do a quick rundown of the markets here as we're just sort of digesting what transpired last week. Dow futures are actually flat coming into the week, up 20 points. S&P up 7 handles, up towards 4,400. Remember, 4,200 was the big level for the S&P. We are almost 200 points above that. So can't imagine what everybody's so pessimistic about. NASDAQ 100 futures up 27 points, up about 20 bips. Bond futures, after a big week, down 50 basis points. Gold flat, silver flat. Copper up 1%. Crude oil up 1%. Natty gas getting the crap kicked out of it this morning, down 5%. With the dollar mix, dollar index slightly down once again after getting the crap kicked out of it last week. Woo! The dollar got smoked. It's almost like emerging markets smelled it, almost. And the volatility index inching a little bit higher with interest rates up a little bit as well. Bitcoin flat also on the day. And that is your morning rundown. How's that, Spencer? Good? It was good for you as it was for me? No? No, Spencer's on mute. We can't hear him.
I was on mute. Sorry. Yeah, I don't have any like live charts right now because I've been putting off doing this like Thinkorswim Charles Schwab conversion, and
No,
like today's.
We don't
What?
need you to have live charts. That's okay.
No, my
No,
point
in
was,
fact, in fact, we
Hey, be
we
quiet.
don't want your
Listen
don't
to
want
me.
your charts.
My point was I can't see like what the futures are doing right now, so I have like no idea. So it was great for me because that was educational because I don't know what's happening in the markets right now. So thank you. Now I know.
Right, what's happening is not much.
Okay.
Not much. Not
after
much going
after
on
we're
here.
done here, I have to go make a Charles Schwab account or something. I don't know. I'll
Can
figure it
we talk about the catalyst here, folks? Can we talk about the catalyst? Can we just throw up that dollar? Come on, Spencer, throw up that dollar. Woo-wee. Man, those emerging market currencies were really telling you. And if only you had an obnoxious Cuban telling you every morning about that for an entire week or more. Imagine if you had that. How do we feel about that, Spencer?
Well, good question from
These scales are terrible, but
What's
fine.
wrong with the scales?
I don't know. It looks arithmetic. You really
Well, first of all, if they
really
were log or arithmetic scale, it wouldn't change this at all. By the way, it wouldn't matter at all. First of all, it's definitely logarithmic scale. But even if it wasn't, and they were log, it wouldn't matter in this case.
All right,
Jason.
Fair victory lap. What's next?
It has nothing to do with a victory lap. I don't give a shit. In fact, I prefer the stock market to crash and the dollar to rip. But I don't have a say in the matter. So I just have to trade the market that's in front of us. And emerging market currencies were ripping all last month while people were telling me that the dollar was strong. And I'm like, yeah, is it though?
Can I do a chart?
Yeah, do one.
Throw up the first chart, Fonz. What if I told you some of the worst stocks, banks, had their best week in 3 years?
That would make sense, right? Because small caps had a heck of a week. Look at the regional bank index up 12% last week. How you doing?
Monster week. What if I told you micro caps had their best week since the first quarter of 2021?
Oh wait, I was going to ask: are micro caps in an uptrend if you go back long enough? 30 years?
8.5%.
What if I told you that the ARK Innovation ETF, the best barometer for the crappiest, most risk-on stocks that we have, had its best week ever last week?
I know, Strazza, but it's only 7 stocks that are going up in this market.
Here's the thing about these obnoxious best week ever stats that I'm dropping, right? You see outsized moves on a rate of change basis, right? You can call them extreme momentum readings. You either see them at peaks or troughs, typically. So they can be a sign of exhaustion of a trend or initiation of a new trend. And when I look at this chart of banks, and if I looked at small caps, or if I looked at ARK, or if I looked at micro caps, it would be the same. It can't be exhaustion simply because there's no uptrend there. So it has to be initiation. What do you think about that? From a momentum standpoint, an outsized week like this, best week ever for ARK.
What's that noise in the background?
Oh, that might be me. Sorry. That might be me.
Happening within the context of a bottom, of a big base. All of these, they can't be exhaustion of a trend because there's no uptrend that we could look at and say, oh, maybe it's over. These are
what is it that's over, right?
Their initiation. I think it's very clear. You can only read these momentum readings one way. So,
are you telling me that it is not only 7 stocks?
Listen, 7 stocks have done a lot of work out here. Kudos to those 7 stocks. They've been great. And you love to see it because you want to see the best stocks do the best. But the rest of the market is getting up off the floor here. And the participation last week, just from the internals, 90%, 95% update, depending on the indexes, back-to-back days. They're talking about Whaley thrust this, Zweig thrust that. Listen, when it's a real thrust, when it's a thrust worth paying attention to, we've done the work. There's a million of them firing at the same time. All of these names, Whaley, Zweig, all the thrusts happen at the same time. We're seeing it in the rate of change indicators. We're seeing it in percentage stocks overbought. We're seeing it from extreme RSI readings. There's just thrusts everywhere. So I think this is the real deal and something to pay attention to. I think we got a big signal last week. Really do.
Yeah. It's less about, is it this thrust, is it that thrust, and more of, are you getting like all these thrusts? Yeah, and the answer is yes. Like somebody tweeted it out last week. I thought it was hilarious. It's like, watch, everybody's gonna come up with their most creative thrust signal, right?
Everybody,
like that
yeah,
couldn't like.
Yeah, it's
that
great.
guy was joking, like he's joking, but his joke really makes Strazza's point.
Yep.
Like, yes, all these thrust signals are gonna come in. That's the point. It's not like, oh, was it a Zweig? Oh no, but it wasn't, or it was a Wiley or whatever.
Right. Like
thrust for days.
The biggest question always when people start talking about thrust is like, can we trust the thrust? And the answer to that question is really easy. You can trust it when it's like this, when the readings are just firing everywhere. And that's what happened last week. So I think it's pretty damn clear. Isn't Louis the guest today?
Is Louis coming in today?
I think so. You gotta trust
Louis coming in.
Shout
out Blake.
Nice.
We're going golfing. Blake and I, we're going golfing next month.
Are you guys?
Yeah.
Hold on. Can we just talk about this the Bancorp? Can you throw up slide 3 there, Mr. Israel?
Oh.
What the hell are these guys doing?
Yeah.
How many regional banks do you know look like this?
Are they doing private loans?
I don't know what the hell they're doing.
Yeah,
whatever they're doing.
What is this one? I feel like this one was in the news for something. I don't remember what it was.
For not sucking. You're like, look, banks, this is how to do it. This is how to not suck like the rest of yous, you know?
You know, it does remind me, if I could just tell a story. A few years ago, we were looking at 2 banks, and we were saying, boy, these banks are so good. They look different than the other ones. You remember those 2 banks? For years, through COVID, we were saying
Silvergate and SBNY.
We were looking at these 2 banks and saying, boy, look at these leaders. They are really killing it. We were saying, why do these charts look so different? We found out, okay, because they're doing very different things, but they're banking crypto, which nobody else is doing. So growth is amazing.
I think, listen,
both of them are gone.
Both
of them are gone now. So you have to
gone. Fine, but there was we made a lot of money in the meantime. Listen, I'm not an expert, but this offers a range of deposit products and services, including checking, savings, money market, individual retirement. I mean, sounds like a bank. It offers private label banking.
There you go. I'll bet you they somehow are in the private loan market, specialty finance.
I guess, man, but this thing's a beast. You know, so I still think this goes higher. You know, maybe it ultimately goes to 0 and the whole thing's a scam. I hope it is. I mean, I don't care. But in the meantime,
yeah,
nice trade.
So, I don't think you even overcomplicate the bank thesis right now. Stick with the big guys. Look at the book value of these companies. Buy the ones that are trading at net book, right? Or even below, a discount to book.
What about book value? Who are you talking
about? So historically, that's the hack for trading fundamentals around the banks. You wait for them to get cheap enough that they're basically trading at book value, and they tend to be good buys when you look out a couple of years. So I would just go look at your big 6, check the book values, get the biggest discount, rely on that one, and that could be your vehicle. I don't think you need to get too cute. I think you do still run a risk of picking the wrong regional, right? I think if you're going to go wade into the regional space, use the index, right? Spread that risk around. KRE is a good option, but I think you just stick with the big guys. You know, they're cheap right now. And we thrusting.
We thrusting. That's if you were a rapper, you know,
thrusting.
Can we just throw one more? I got slide 8 here, folks. Just to remind everybody that the world's most important stock market index is only 6% from a new all-time high on a weekly closing basis. No, not the NASDAQ. If you think the NASDAQ's the most important index, you either haven't done the work or you're terrible at math. You're like those other people that we described earlier. How do we feel about that? This also upsets people that the Dow's so close to new all-time highs. They think it's a fake index.
Did you not know that you were jumping the hot corner segment with the TBBK?
Yeah, he didn't know that.
I did.
Wow. That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah.
Wow.
A lot of buys. Yeah, that's been a hot one. I'll check right now. Hold on.
Look at that. Look at
Let's see how many
that.
filings we've had. It's been a lot. Insiders have been all over this one, so they must know whatever's going on there that they're doing.
You want to hit it quick before we jump to Louis? Hit the hot corner?
All right. Yeah, we'll hit it.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's talk about it.
Hot corner. So hot right now.
Wow, look at that. Matthew Kahn, 683,000. Kind of a piker purchase, but it's not nothing.
It's not a piker purchase. You're such an ass. Let's go in order.
Also, it's Cone. It's Cone, just for the record.
Cone.
Yeah. Come on.
Cone.
JC thinks he's friends with Jewish people. He can't even pronounce their names.
How do you know he's Jewish?
All right.
It's just a guess.
So the CEO and CFO, something for everyone in this one, me and you, JC. 1.5 together, is that enough for you? Lumen Technologies, it's telco.
Wow, telco, huh? Lumen.
Are the telcos waking up, or is it me, or is there something there with these telcos?
Is it not a bond thing?
I think it is, but do we care? Like Verizon for the first time in forever looks like a chart that I wouldn't scream at you for buying.
Well, would you scream at me for buying Lumen?
You
better scream. I mean,
that's a tough one. I didn't even want to throw up the chart, but really ugly. We tend to see that
this thing went from $50 to 50 cents.
They buy weakness. These insiders. That's what they do, right? We see it all the time. Insiders.
Well, you want to know something? Look where it bounced last week at exactly the 1981 lows.
1981. There's no price memory there, JC. It's too long ago, right?
Dude, it bounced right at those 1981 lows. Do you have the chart or should I throw it up?
Throw it up. We didn't mark that one up. I want to talk about the merchants chart, though, when you're done. Throw it up, though.
Yeah, here. LUMN. And then look at that, man. The low from 1981 came into play last week to the penny, bro. Look at this thing. Wow. And this guy bought $1.5 million bucks?
Both of them, CEO and CFO, came out buying.
Go to slide 2 there, Spencer. Look at that thing. Wow.
Let's talk about how both of these regional banks, though, that have insider activity look great.
So it broke those 1981 lows by a penny and then squeezed. Wow, look at that.
Love to see that, right?
Right? Crazy. So people are like, oh, JC, the market doesn't have any memory from 42 years ago. All right. Maybe that was just a coincidence. Maybe.
Well, when people ask me that question, I never really have a better answer or care to have a better answer than, hey, look at this. Hey, look at this. And now look at this one. Like, we've just seen it so many times. You can make an argument that there's not price memory there, that nobody remembers and nobody cares. But we've just seen prices react to former highs and lows from decades ago over and over and over again in our careers, what we do on a day-to-day basis. I don't care, why or what's causing that dynamic. We call it polarity, that dynamic, but it works really well. And we see it over and over and over again.
Again and again and again and again.
Yeah. Throw up the Merchants Bank chart. It's right after the hot corner table, Fonz. So we'll get to TBBK next, but this is the other bank they were buying. It's been a theme, right, for the hot corner this year. A lot of bank buys, right? These regional banks have seen a ton of insider buying. And the two that made our list today, slide 17. Merchants Bank Corp is one of them. You already talked about TBBK, but they're two of the better banking charts you're going to find out there, right? I mean, look at this. This one only came public like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Also interesting.
What are you doing differently here?
Now, we talk about how there's too many banks. They keep coming.
Yeah, this is really impressive. This is a heck of a chart here. Wow. Carmel, Indiana, Merchants Bank.
Yeah, and the other one, TBBK, was
Wilmington, Delaware.
Yeah, throw up to the other TBBK chart again, just to pound this point home. Beautiful charts. So insiders not buying weakness in these banks, actually buying strength.
Wilmington, Delaware, home of the Wilmington Blue Rocks minor league organization. Nice got down there.
I like these Bitcoin charts. Who did this?
Wait.
think?
Don't,
Yeah,
don't
settle
go.
down there. Settle down there,
Don't-
Baba Louie.
Yeah.
Why are you trying to steal Louis' thunder?
I like these charts. Go Louis. I was thinking about we'll wait for it. I was thinking about that last week. Did you not remember when we were saying that last fall? How perfect would this be? Everybody hated crypto. It's done. It's over. FTX and SBF ruined everything. And we were sitting here saying, oh, look at those prior cycle highs. Wouldn't this be the shakeout of a century? All of this bearish news, crypto in ruins. It's all over. FTX is blowing up. Wouldn't it make so much sense for a bottom to form right there? Fast forward.
How about Fat Fred Savage going to jail, huh?
Listen, I said it last week. Michael Saylor is the guy. I think Saylor and Armstrong, they need to grab this thing and just become the faces of crypto. I think
they are by default. Nobody left.
Dude, a lot of guys, the rise and fall of so many of these crypto people, it's been crazy.
Imagine being a crypto person as opposed to just buy things going up person.
What?
What do you mean?
Yeah, imagine if you pigeonhole yourself to one thing. I was listening to a podcast the other day and they were talking about how, kind of these pretty young girls with their OnlyFans or whatever. And
I don't know what that is.
These are not sustainable strategies. Once that identity comes to an end and you're no longer a young, pretty girl, you're done, right? If that's all you got, that was one example that they used, but also these, crypto people, you're pigeonholing yourself. And once that's done, you're done. You want a sustainable strategy. And I find it much more advantageous to, if we're buying crypto or tech stocks or energy stocks, or we're shorting telco, whatever, who gives a shit, and we can do that for the rest of our lives.
I will say though,
I'm not like a pretty girl shaking my ass. You know what I mean? I don't got those skills.
OnlyFans is a private company, obviously. And they do release their numbers, I think, annually. And that was last week or the week before. Did you guys get your hands on that? Because it's stunning how much money this company is generating.
Dude. They crush.
It's wild. What a business they have created.
Remember when they went, they were going to take
porn? I was going to say that.
And they were like, whoa, bad idea. Put it back in. We were just kidding. It's fine. Carry on.
Speaking of crypto,
that's all I'm saying.
Speaking of crypto, though, I was reminded last week or the week before, I had forgotten about this, that Lamborghini has a 2-year backlog because all the crypto bros, the Lambo is the car of crypto, right? So everybody bought that sure, maybe, but that's the car. So everybody bought a Lambo and they can't make them fast enough. It's a 2-year backlog.
Are you coming up? Are you coming up to the Northeast anytime soon, Strazza?
No, dude.
I'm taking my brother-in-law. We're gonna go race cars at the Speedway.
Oh, that's cool.
I heard the Lambo sucks. I heard the Porsche is the best one, better than the Ferrari, better than the Lambo. It's the Porsche is the one.
That's my car. If I have too much money one day and I'm gonna buy an old car, I'm gonna get one of those late 90s Porsches. They're so pretty.
Yeah.
Are you going to the Pocono Raceway?
Yeah.
I've been there. My uncle used to be on a racing team, and I got to hang out in.
Is it nice? I've never been up there.
I wasn't in pit lane, but I was somewhere where private, and got to watch them sort of work on the car before the race and stuff. It's pretty cool.
That is cool.
So yeah,
as somebody who knows nothing about cars, nothing about racing cars, I think all that stuff is cool because it's all new to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm coming up in January for the thing, and that's it. Christmas in Florida this year for me.
All
right. We got some crypto charts. Do we have a crypto guest? We do. Louis Sykes in the house. I don't have a Louis Sykes bumper. I'll play our featured guest bumper for Louis, but Louis, we will get you a bumper. I promise.
Jay, we've been friends for a long time. Make the call.
I mean, this is pretty professional, guys.
Nice show you got going here.
You guys need to get me a bumper. I'm going to be a regular guest shortly.
I know. As the man bun just keeps getting bigger and bigger. You look like my great grandmother back in the day. She had this sweet
great grandmother.
She had this sweet bun thing going. A lot more grays. She was 90s.
I like your
So-
bun, Louis. Don't listen to him.
Louis, I was drinking New Zealand Pinot Noir this weekend. How about that, huh?
New World wine. I
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah, I know.
And
I mix in
so-
some New World juice every now and then. I'm more of an old world kind of cat, but I like to mix it up. Plus, I'm a member of like all these wine clubs that send me all kinds of shit. So that's why I didn't like go out of my way to buy New Zealand Pinot Noir. Although I have before and I will again. I like New Zealand Pinot. Shout
So
out to
what,
the Kiwis.
what sort of flavor profile is New Zealand wine bringing to the table?
Well, it's gonna have a little bit more of a New World mix, but if you can get some nice South Island Pinot Noir, gets a little cooler in there. It's good, easy drinking. Nice summer wine. You're not getting. It's more serious, more structured juice in France. I appreciate the simplicity of some of that New Zealand juice. Kind of reminds me a little bit of the Sicilian stuff. Some of that Sicilian frappato. It kind of reminds me a little bit of that. Anyway,
last time I went to the South Island, down to Queenstown, I was surprised that they could, grow grapes at a temperature so cold. You had the Alps right next to them, and it was
yeah,
snowing.
it's like that in France too. In Burgundy, it's in the north. Champagne region is in the north. It gets cold up there. So, think about it in Germany, all that Riesling is cold as shit, so they have issues like with the ripening process as opposed to California, where it's too damn hot and the Pinot Noir ripens too much. And that's why you're getting that shitty plum juice when you're drinking California Pinot Noir for the most part.
Hey, speaking
Don't
of
get me
shitty
started.
juice, listen, I was driving home. I was in Florida this weekend, driving home, and there's signs like after Homestead, like right before Largo, for a winery. Like there's like a sign that's like Alligator Everglades Park Winery.
Yeah, because they make wine out of different fruits.
Oh, it's like apple wine.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
like
I was just
yeah,
like,
you don't want to drink that stuff.
what
It's like
kind of joke is
guava wine and stuff like that. Like no, it's poison.
Guava wine. Ooh.
I like how Strazza's like I was in Florida this weekend because he lives in the Keys, so he doesn't live in Florida.
Yeah,
So-
we went up. We went to Florida. We went up.
All right, Louis. How long before Bitcoin gets to 100,000? Can we get there before Christmas?
I don't know, man. It's looking really good at the moment. I brought a lot of charts here, so how about we start bringing these in?
Louis, I
like it.
love these charts. Talk to us.
Thank you. So, what chart are we on at the moment? So, this the Bitcoin. This the long-term Fibonacci extensions. Just got the monthly candles the other week. Look, man,
So-
if we're above 30K,
Yeah.
the bias is higher. You don't really need to make it any more complicated than that.
How
So
much
we're-
trouble you think we're gonna run into at 46, 47? Kind of kiss it, consolidate and rip, or you think it's gonna be a bigger deal?
I mean,
it's
you can
nice.
take profits there. You can scale. I mean, I can see Strazza there just shaking his head a little bit. I mean,
Dude.
30K, if you're a long-term investor with a longer-term time horizon, as long as you're above that, you can really, I think, almost target the former all-time highs and maybe even beyond.
I think it's a little cute to take profits that soon. Look at the run in 2020 after that base breakout.
Maybe like if you want to get cute, I was gonna say sell some calls or something, but I wouldn't even feel comfortable doing that. Like, well, you kind of just gotta hold on to what you got and just go through the pain of 46, 47 and just sit there and just
I just think there's a risk it rips right through and
Yeah.
pays zero attention to that level. So it's a wait and see thing, right? You always want to see how price reacts at your targets. That's why I hate price targets.
you hate price targets now.
I don't think that they should be hard and fast rules, right? Like if you think your objective is 40, but price just literally rips right through it and ignores 40, are you really going to go selling that strength? I would.
No, raise your stops to 40.
I
Okay.
mean, when these markets get going, they get going, right? They don't care about your price targets.
Right.
That's right.
There's a risk of selling too soon in these monster uptrends. We've seen Bitcoin break out of a beautiful base before. And what comes next is usually fireworks and multiple Fibonacci extensions being hit. I don't see why this time would be any different.
Can we get slide 20 in there? I want Louis.
I
to walk-
wanna go to slide 19 before we go to 20, just to really set the framework. Classic, absolutely classic moment. You see
Dude.
this all the time in markets, literally right at the bottom.
Yep.
That is when you start getting all the magazine covers. Crypto's downfall, in ruins, the fall of a crypto empire. And it's almost like in the commodities market, right? crude oil bottoms when it trades below zero. Like, how poetic is that? In the same case here, all that money that's on FTX gets stranded, and then the market bottoms and rips higher. How poetic is that?
It was not just a price reset, like it was a beautiful washout. It was an epic shakeout, actually, below those prior cycle highs, but it was also like a sentiment washout, right? Like it all just hit at the same time. We were talking to some of our very smart friends this time last year, even the beginning of this year. Crypto's dead. It's over. No one will trust it again. Like the space is dead. A lot of people were saying that. Fast forward a year, again, no one's saying that. So pay attention to these things. Sentiment.
Also, Louis, listen, I'm not good at a lot of things. I'm good at like a few things. I'm really good at baseball. I'm good at, I know a thing or two about wine, and that's it.
You were okay at baseball. You were okay.
Yeah, I was okay. On a relative basis, I'm one of the greatest of all time. But in reality, when you compare my skills to other baseball players, I'm okay. But nevertheless, relative to the rest of humans on Earth, I have baseball skills and I have wine skills. And other than that, I'm not very good. One thing I've noticed, I've gotten better and better at something that's really, really difficult, and that's aggregating sentiment. It's one of the hardest things to do in markets.
Yeah.
But if I'm going to give myself any credit at all, I have gotten better. I've gotten less bad at it. You can even argue, but
I would even say you're good at it. I would go.
Maybe
you're good at it.
I'm relative to others. I've gotten good at it over the years. And one thing I've noticed, Louis, is that Bitcoin's been making new 52-week highs, and nobody cares. Nobody cares.
Love that.
That's different than it used to be, right? You feel me?
There is some serious quiche on the sidelines when it comes to crypto.
Quiche?
There's some quiche on the sidelines.
Is that how the kids talk these days? Quiche?
Well, like quiche? I've never heard that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Incremental buyers.
I don't think people say that, Louis. I think that's just Strazza's making.
Yeah, I think that's just a Florida Keys thing. All right, next chart. Let's go. And so you see this a lot, right? Look at all these ETS launches and IPOs. This is the chart back in June of last year. And the first Bitcoin short ETF launch, it wasn't exactly at the bottom, but it's when the market started moving sideways in that accumulation range.
Yeah.
And you see this behavior all the time. Next chart. This is Goldman and their relationship with crypto trading desks. You can have a quick read of it. Absolute classic.
Can I
and
give
then
you
the one that I love is the next one, which is the Riot platforms. Riot platforms rebranding away from Riot blockchain. If you go to the next chart, Alfonso, Riot platforms pivoting away from Riot blockchain to Riot platforms, literally the day of the bottom. And they did that before in the previous cycle in 2017. They rebranded to blockchain pretty much almost at the top.
I got another one.
They do this all the time.
I got another one for you. Michael Saylor stepped down from CEO of MicroStrategy this time last year.
That's another good one.
You think that's you think that's a negative, like quote unquote, like a negative sentiment? The fact that he stepped down.
Yeah,
he stepped down so he could focus more on buying Bitcoin.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, most CEOs step down so they can spend time with family, but he just spends time so he can figure out how to buy more Bitcoin.
I think at that moment in time, he looked pretty stupid, right? For the things he had come on and said. He's been very loud, very, very vocal advocate for Bitcoin. And they were probably like, we can't have you at the helm. He's still the chairman. He's still.
What's their cost basis, Louis? What's their cost basis on the BTC?
It's around 30K, is it?
Around here.
Is it that high?
Sure.
Is it that high? You sure?
I think
I'm not 100% sure. I'll need to revisit that.
They're in the money. They're in the money at current prices.
By $4 or $5 grand. Yeah, maybe.
I know that.
I like the website that compares if they bought ETH instead of BTC.
It's a great website.
Right.
It's a great website.
It's a little below 30. Thank you, Caleb. Did you watch the video of him last week, Louis? I want you to see that. You would love that.
Tell me about it.
Oh, Michael Saylor.
I don't understand why Strazza's making such a big deal about it. It's nothing that we don't already know.
I thought because he's actually coming out and saying it and acknowledging that.
Saying what?
We are a leveraged spot Bitcoin ETF. I love that.
I know, but we knew that.
Yeah, but whatever.
You're saying that because he's saying the things that we've been saying, that's cool.
Yeah, but he said them in a much more eloquent way too.
For sure.
Intelligent,
Compared to you and
elaborate,
me, two knuckleheads. Yeah, of course he's going to say it more eloquently.
like they've been very smart about how they've gone about this. Really, they've done a great job. So good.
We've always said that it's the de facto Bitcoin ETF.
Yeah,
for good reason.
For a long time.
I think people will continue to use it as that, right?
Hold on, I'm Louis. I'm interested in this Bitcoin gold chart. Can we throw that one up? Spencer,
So we all obviously know the
Spencer.
correlation. Come on, Spencer. So we obviously all know the correlation that Bitcoin has had to equity markets. But it's weird to see this correlation to gold. I don't really know what to make of it. I think the correlation, obviously, over time, long term, is very spurious. I don't think there's much reason or rhyme to it. What do you guys think? Is it a dollar story?
Is it a dollar story? Seems to be, doesn't it?
I don't think so.
No,
I don't think so.
When the dollar peaked, these things started going up. When the dollar bottomed, they stopped going. Right? They stopped going up, and then when the dollar peaked, they started going up again. That's just coincidence?
Yeah, but the dollar started going up again back in like July, and these things are still going up.
They were going sideways.
Yeah, Bitcoin.
They stopped going up. That's my point.
Yeah, Bitcoin made new highs.
I think this is more of a dollar thing, Louis. I'm with you on that.
I don't know what it is. Somebody asked me on Twitter, is the correlation between Bitcoin and gold or Bitcoin and stocks stronger? And I was like, geez, at this point, it really depends on the time frame.
It seems to be more negatively correlated with the dollar, and those things that are negatively correlated with the dollar are moving together, is what it seems like.
Yeah, I don't really think it's any more complicated than that. It doesn't have to be this grandiose, dissertation about the intricacies of this market. I feel like it's probably just a dollar story.
Yeah.
And so I don't have much of a read into that.
Wait, just out of curiosity, what happens if you just went back further left on this?
It wouldn't be
as strong.
That the correlation wouldn't be there. So again, that's what I say over the long term.
Remember, Spencer, gold has sucked for a long time.
This is a new thing.
Right.
Yeah. This whole thing where gold doesn't suck and people actually make money in it. This is a whole new thing. It's like a whole new world.
It still needs time, though. I don't think it's prudent to get too excited about gold here. You're still trading a range, right?
I'm in.
You're in.
I'm in.
Jumping it. You're jumping the gun here. Jumping the break.
I'm in.
All right. So I want to move to slide 25. I think that's an important point. So this is our crypto index relative to Bitcoin.
Explain.
And in this crypto index, I had to make some adjustments, but on aggregate, it features about 80% of the total market cap of the entire crypto asset class. And so it's a pretty good gauge as to what's happening below the surface because I've equally weighted it. And so when I put it relative...
Roughly how many tokens are in there?
100.
About 75. I did have to make some basic adjustment.
Why isn't it 100 anymore? What happened to the 100?
Because because CryptoWatch shut down their API, and so we don't have all the 100 cryptos that we would have otherwise.
It's no longer a bull market for crypto data.
Yeah, exactly. And so what tends to happen at the beginning of new trends is that you see Bitcoin lead the initial rally, and then you tend to see that rotation down the cap scale into the altcoins, into ETH. And so this would be a really logical place for that to happen, sitting on the January 2021 lows for this ratio here. Nice RSI divergence. And if you go to the next chart, look at the ETH BTC ratio.
Yeah.
Again, digging in at those former lows, RSI divergence, briefly undercut. If there was ever going to be a place to get that rotation down the cap scale, this would be a perfectly logical place to see that happen.
How much weight are you giving to this price action from, I would say, like the alt of all alts, because you almost consider ETH almost like with Bitcoin as one of the big guys. But
it's the blue chip alt. It's the blue chip alt.
This price action from Solana, I wouldn't sleep on that. What do you think, Louis?
And Cardano too.
On a chart somewhere, if Alfonso, you want to try and dig that out, I think slide 38.
These things are moving.
Yeah, tell me about it. And so it is at a level of resistance near 50. So this would be a logical place to see a little bit of a digestion.
And it
But
is.
the fact of the matter is that a lot of these alts are really shaping up. You're starting to see some really key trend reversals. and you're seeing a lot of alts. They broke former support, and now they're whipsawing above it. So failed moves come fast moves in the opposite direction.
Yeah.
It's looking good.
And I have mine drawn the same exact way, Louis. I love this with the resistance at like 48.50. We wicked right into it like a week or two ago, and now we're just high and tight, chopping right there. I think this.
I like how you did that. You turned wick into a verb. We wicked
right
into it.
Yeah,
I like that. I like that.
Yep. I think it's eventually going to go. These bull flags in crypto are looking pretty good.
And if we want to really dive into the internals of the crypto market, let's go to slide 30 and let's quickly rip through some breadth charts. So this is the percentage of coins above the 200-day moving average. Come on, Spencer. Or is it Alfonso? Come on. We've got some charts to go through here. So this is the percentage of coins above the 200-day moving average. Massive spike. And so again, that's definitely not bearish.
What's that green line? What's the green line up at the top there?
So that green line is just the 200-day moving average of our crypto index.
Got it.
I'm surprised this reading was higher earlier in the year, though. Very surprised by that.
Yeah, but think about where it was coming from.
Yeah, but the moving averages have been flattening now all year. I don't know. All right.
You can't argue with the data.
We should get back to that reading.
People love arguing with data.
All right, anyway.
It's just in our human nature.
Can we
if you go to the next chart, above the 50-day moving average, 100% of our universe is above their 50-day.
And how many? This is another 75 tokens, the same?
Yep, so same universe. And then if you go to the next chart, approximately 100% of all coins are in a bullish RSI regime.
Wow.
Momentum is aggressively just turning in the opposite direction.
I like that.
Is it thrusting, Strazza?
I mean, it's a bull market for the word thrusting.
The percentage of cryptos overbought, I think you're getting some form of a thruster. I think you got the initiation earlier in the year, but this is like
Slide 35.
I like
bring the charts.
Boom. Yeah. Dude.
Yeah,
that's a good reading, man. It's a big time reading. Yeah.
Yeah, these are not characteristics of downtrends. As somebody who has participated in plenty of downtrends and studied even more, this is not what you see.
And I think we needed to see this, right? We needed this buy-in from the junkier stuff in the space, and we're getting that. So some beautiful confirmation from these alts here.
Yeah, but Louis makes a good point that this alt stuff, alt outperformance, this is second, third inning stuff, right? The first inning stuff is BTC getting going on its own. You saw that. Now this is second, third inning stuff. I know Louis doesn't know anything about baseball, but are you following me? What do they call it in cricket?
Well, we've got innings in cricket.
Are they innings in cricket? How does that work?
Well, I mean, it's the Cricket World Cup at the moment. So are you guys watching that?
Who's in it?
It is. It's the World Cup. So, everybody. And so New Zealand.
Does America have a team? Does the United States have a team?
I don't think so.
Let's see: Pakistan, India, England, Australia, New Zealand. Those are the powers, right?
Yeah, but the U.S. has a ton of immigrants from all those places. You know how many Indians we got in this country? When you fly over Queens, you see them playing cricket in Queens. When Louis moves to New York, he's going to be out in Queens with all these Indian guys. It's true.
What's the vehicle, Louis? You get one vehicle.
Thank you, Steve.
Like crypto in the year end. What's your vehicle? Think real hard.
Think real hard.
Do you buy the crappiest crypto miner, like Hut or something? One of these little guys?
I don't think so.
I mean, you can if you've only got one, then it would probably be ETH. But there's a lot of nice charts. If you want to take a look at, like, say, slide 47, you're seeing a lot of really. This is I think about a $700 million crypto.
Roll
right
bit
to all-time highs. Really nice chart.
Okay.
Yeah, roll bit.
You could go to slide 45. Injective protocol has just been ripping higher for a long time now.
Yeah. Yep.
We can even just go.
What is this, Louis? What are they doing?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know. They
got some kind of hustle going.
Injective. Yeah. What a move. This one's like doubled since like over the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I've brought a lot of charts. We could quickly go, just quickly run through them if you want to have a look at some of these.
Crazy.
Charts. Let's go crazy. You know, we normally do this on Fridays, so it's I'm happy to be doing
That's
Crypto Monday.
information.
So
That's information, people.
it is.
Yeah, that's a pop. That's
No, it's not.
Listen, I think that the alts are attractive vehicles. If you want to rip through a couple more, but there's crypto stocks too.
Yeah, we can move to the stocks, so we can
the Central
go to.
Land. Wow, blast from the past.
I haven't looked at this chart in forever.
I haven't either.
JC, how's your property in the metaverse?
That's a good question. I don't know. It's in there somewhere. It's in my wallet.
Wait,
I got
wait,
some
wait.
I
property.
remember we first played Decentraland and we had a crypto meeting there. This would have been like at the top. And I was like, man, this thing is so stupid. Like, what is the point in this?
I gotta be honest. Back in 2021, when we were like running around, jumping around in Decentraland and like meeting each other in the metaverse, I knew deep in my bones that was the top.
Yeah, you and everyone else. Louis, can I make a chart request for the future? Can you just include the market caps on these because they still blow my face away? And I think it's
Just
worth
go crazy.
noting.
But
Right.
Sure thing. I'll include the market.
why,
Just
Spencer?
Spencer.
Are you not
Because
below?
because wait, what was the one from 2 or 3 slides ago? $750 million for a thing I've never even heard of before.
Is that below your line?
Dude,
That's a lot of money. Is my point.
Decentraland is not 800 million.
$800 million.
Small cap.
I remember at the top, it was hilarious that they only had like 700 active monthly users and they had a valuation of like 10 billion.
Hold on, Spencer. The only thing that you need to keep in mind right now when we're talking about funny money is that Dogecoin is $10 billion. That would be technically a large cap stock.
That's all the same point. I know. It all blows my mind. $10 billion. Like
$10 billion in the old Doge. How about that, huh? All right, Louis, final words. Final thoughts. Anything you want to leave us with?
I don't know, man. Just, buy, hodl, diamond eyes. No, but in all seriousness, manage risk. Things are looking great at the moment, but we know what these markets can be like. Take bets responsibly, manage risk. When the levels are defined, stick to your trading plan, and just stay safe out there.
Are you telling people to YOLO responsibly? Is that what you're saying?
I am.
All right.
I will. I bought some Coinbase weeklies last week, right after the earnings announcement.
Here we go.
That's a YOLO.
Let's party.
Okay. All right, Louis.
Thanks a lot.
Go get some sleep out there. What time is it over there? It's like 2:00 in the morning or some shit.
It's like.
Oh, I'm sorry, Louis. Wait. He's back. Louis, what time is it?
Oh, just cut me off. Just 3:30
no.
in the morning. So no, I'm happy to be here with you guys and enjoy the rest of your day.
The
All
dedication,
right. See you, Louis. Move to America. Jeez.
dedication from this man. 3:30 in the morning. Just come talk about cryptos with us.
He doesn't have any kids, no responsibilities.
Oh,
His only responsibility, he goes to the gym and he looks at charts.
JC had a couple kids over the past few years. Now he's got to remind everybody about it every time that somebody's up late.
Yeah, I don't feel bad for anybody. I don't feel bad for anybody. Are you kidding me? I got 3 kids, 3 and under. I don't want to hear it from anybody.
All right. Should we do some earnings / news or whatever?
Yeah, hit it.
Hold on. Hood is not a crypto stock. I think it's just
but it's a good question. With little sympathy, he's not wrong.
It gets in there. It's not a crypto stock.
No, but
it gets sympathy bid because of the crypto stocks. He's right.
It does.
He does.
Coinbase is a crypto stock.
That is also a crypto stock.
And look and overlay a chart of Robinhood over it, and they look just like it.
Yeah. All right, let's do earnings here. We had one notable report from over the weekend. Let's talk about that.
No bummer.
The only company that can get away with reporting earnings on a Saturday is Berkshire Hathaway.
The best.
Because they march to the beat of their own drum, and they are allowed to do that when you are Warren Buffett. So, Berkshire Hathaway, honestly, not much super surprising out of this report. It's been a lot of the same things for 3 or 4 quarters in a row now. They did report a huge, massive jump in operating earnings, 40% increase year over year. They now have $157 billion in cash just sitting there earning interest, waiting to be deployed or not. No one's really quite sure. They were for I think the third or fourth quarter in a row net sellers of stocks. Their investments did fall. Most of that is just Apple, because Apple is such a large stake in their investment portfolio. What else jumped out for me here? Geico, they dominated. Gains in Geico were more than enough to offset losses in their utilities and railroad and utilities and railroad businesses were offset by massive gains in insurance due to Geico. So it was a good quarter. How many times in a row have we said this? They have so much cash, and everyone's just waiting and waiting and waiting for them to do something with it or not. But anyway, that's the story.
Didn't they just buy a whole bunch of T-bills?
Yes. Yeah.
Like $40 billion worth or something?
They bought, and they still have a record cash pile. So, because interest, right? So, yes, they did buy some. They
Uncle
bought
Warren,
some T-bills.
Uncle Warren wins again.
I think we have that chart. Can we get the Berkshire chart up? I think we have it.
Do we know how much? What kind of interest they're earning on that cash? I'm sure they're saying.
I didn't look. I'm assuming it's on par with,
dude. When you're that big,
10-year, 20-year.
When you're that big, sit back and collect 5%.
Yeah.
You're gonna do well.
Yeah.
Once you get
too,
big,
Spencer.
We've talked about that before. Their job, a lot of money managers complain that once their AUM grows, JC knows about this. Once your AUM gets a certain size, it becomes more and more difficult to make that P&L that you did when you were smaller. I don't think Berkshire really has that problem. I don't think they really care. They're not trying to beat anybody or be the best manager. Like, just sit back and earn your interest. I mean, it's going to be hard for this company not to get massive and massive and massive as the years go on, just from collecting.
You know how hilarious it is. I mean, to me, it's funny. I understand it, but I love how Uncle Warren and Munger are like 90-something years old, and they're investing for the long run.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, it's so good.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's how you know that they're not full of shit, because they've been saying that.
I know. I love it. I just think it's hilarious. Like, if I'm 90 years old, you think I'm going to be investing for the long run? Are you kidding me?
All right. JC confirmed YOLO calls at 90 years old.
I will be that guy. What they're gonna have to do to me, they're gonna have to unplug my account and like switch it with like a paper account, so I think I'm trading. You know what I mean?
That's right. Like,
I'm gonna tell my family. I'm like, all right, when I start losing my shit, just this is what you need to do. Don't tell me, right?
All right, so we had that one. That was.
Can we quickly go to slide 3, just to prove my point as usual?
Okay.
I'm right, and NP Mel was right also.
All right, can we pull?
Do these not look alike?
Yes. All right, moving on.
I'm not saying yeah, fine.
Okay, moving on. Can we pull up the calendar for the week just to give everyone a preview? We do have a couple of reports today that are interesting. We have John Deere later on. NXPI is interesting. Uber tomorrow. It's kind of the big one for the week. Later on, we'll get Disney on Wednesday. Twilio. What else jumps out to me on this list? I don't know. We are definitely over the hump. We are on the downswing of the earnings season here. So it's going to get lighter and lighter every week. So, something to keep in mind, but that's the schedule for the week.
Uber is baking a big beat into the cake since last week.
That'll be baking a big beat into the cake.
Yeah, it's baked into the cake. I mean, I think it's going to be a monster beat.
Speaking of monster beats, shout out to Steve Strazza for that DraftKings call. That was a nice one. I wasn't here for that, but
can we talk about that real quick? I got something to say.
Please.
I looked into the fundamentals last week. I find this company so interesting. They double their revenue like every couple quarters, and it's been that way ever since they came public. Just the top line growth from this company is so impressive. They turned cash flow positive this quarter. They're slated to turn earnings positive or EBIT positive, maybe second quarter of next year. It looks like. The biggest story about this stock that goes untold is they haven't even gotten to their total market yet, right? So they're the largest sports betting platform in the US by far. They are not allowed to operate in three monster states yet. Florida, which I know all about, Texas, California. Florida, Texas, and California together make up about half of the sports betting market in the US. DraftKings not even there yet. They're going to get there. They got to figure it out. There's all these court stuff going on with these different jurisdictions. But once they get there, I mean, they're going to totally blow up. And the revenue estimates, like the future, the forward forecasts, are nothing crazy. So I think this is a stock that just keeps beating, keeps growing. They're turning profitable. So this is not non-profitable tech anymore. I just think the business they have here and the moat that they've already generated from like a first mover advantage standpoint is super, super impressive. People love this platform. They love betting on DraftKings.com.
You know what's interesting? I was having a conversation. I didn't realize this, but different states, right? Some states are more communist than others. Like in Massachusetts, you can gamble on just sports, but in Pennsylvania, apparently, you can play like table games as well. So my brother-in-law was in town, technically in the state of Pennsylvania, and he said that like on his app it said play the casino, and he clicked on it and he was playing blackjack, losing money in blackjack, to be more precise. I mean, yeah, and you know, it knows that you're in PA and it turned on the casino and stuff like that. Be like, hey, if you don't just want to lose money over here, you can lose money over here now also because you're in Pennsylvania, you know?
Yeah. So this
racket.
With all of these regulations and different state laws, right? Like there's still a lot of room to grow, right? They're not operating in all the markets that they should be and will be. So I think it's just a super exciting story.
Wait. Isn't sports betting illegal in Florida, or they're just not there yet?
The Seminole tribe has some sort of like they just got their hand all over this situation, and it was a big thing. They launched their own like Hard Rock sports betting app, like around COVID. Then that got shut down. So like they're just fighting it out in court still.
But it's not even illegal in California and Texas yet. And then once it is, then it'll.
Huge.
Okay.
That's crazy. It's not even legal in California and Texas, the two biggest. Like there's a lot of room. That's really interesting.
It's awesome. And this company has beat their revenue numbers every single quarter since coming public. So a lot to like here. I'm very interested. I think this is as exciting as it gets in terms of like long-term prospects for a growth company. I just love what I'm seeing from DraftKings.
Do you think that they got destroyed because all these ARKY SPACs were getting destroyed and it was just sympathy selling?
Yes.
A lot of babies got thrown out with the bathwater. And there were some, I said it last year, I'll say it again. It was a generational buying opportunity for a lot of these speculative growth stocks. If you were able to spot the good ones and get in, whether it's Shopify, Uber, DraftKings, I mean, there were some big sales.
And you could see the divergence because the crappy ones have continued lower or gone nowhere, and the best ones have rallied from those levels. It's an interesting point.
The crappy ones look like small caps right now, and the good ones look like the NASDAQ.
DraftKings is in 3 different ARK ETFs. So, yeah, they are all about it.
And Kathy likes it.
That's what I said. So, yes.
iGaming, JJ, that's great too.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, you gotta be some kind of degenerate to be sitting on your phone playing blackjack. Like, come on.
No, dude. I mean, I've done it, man. It is so easy. It is so. It's like alarmingly easy.
You think it is it healthy for the mind and
doesn't matter. Does it matter though? Have we seen this a million times? Doesn't need to be healthy.
Oh, I'm all for it. If humans are going to make stupid decisions, then I'm going to bet on the company who's profiting from that. No question. I'm not judging. I'm all for it. I'm just saying, like, think about it. If you're one of these humans losing money playing blackjack on your phone, like.
I was reading an article last week about just the insane growth in parlay betting. People are like,
yeah, man.
Yes. It's a thing.
Yeah, but you know what? I don't hate that because you could put one bet in, put $10, $20, $100, whatever's not meaningful to you.
500.
And you can win $50,000, $100,000, and it gives you like a series of teams to root for during the day. Like I think if you're gonna do anything that, even though those are your worst odds, I get that probably the best.
I swear I was going to say the exact same thing that Stock Market Mike just said in the chat.
Yeah, they're call outs.
Parlays are the sports betting. What 0 DTEs, are to options or trading in general. It's the same thing.
We got to talk to Sean about those. Next time Sean's on, we got to talk about zero DTEs. We were laughing last week because he's always complaining about like, oh, my zero DTE strategy, this and that. He's always like trying to figure it out. It's driving him crazy. I'm like, are you ever going to stop doing that? He's like, that's a great question. I probably should. He's like addicted to zero DTEs, just like people.
I know, but I really do appreciate what Sean's doing because he's been doing this from the beginning. He's like, I'm going to keep digging. I'm going to see what I can find. I'm going to see what there is. And he's come up empty-handed so far, but I appreciate the hustle. I really do. I really appreciate the hustle.
It's an educational thing. I think we're big on that here. The three of us all try to do that. Like when something new comes out, the only way to really learn it or figure it out is get your hands dirty. And Sean is great at that.
Yeah, good for him. I mean, it's unfortunate he hasn't come up with anything yet, but keep digging, baby. Tell me what you find,
It's still a very new area. Right?
It is a very new area. Right. Yeah. I'm not really there's an ETF. Didn't an ETF come out recently?
Yes.
I don't like these call right strategy funds.
They exist for a very narrow sleeve of people who want the strategy but can't do it themselves.
Write your own covered calls. Why can't they do it themselves?
I don't know. I'm just there.
I mean, if there's zero DTE, you're doing that every day, and people got other shit to do. It's like you can invest in real estate and deal with all the bullshit and rent it out, or you can buy a REIT.
Yeah,
people like the income of a covered call ETF, and they don't want to have to go manage a trade for themselves. So
Jason,
I don't know.
You're a little older now. You have kids. Do you like these income strategies? Right? Are you gonna start loving dividends one day?
No, it has nothing to do with dividends. It has to do with the fact that we run that strategy with my portfolio where we're selling strangles and we're writing those calls that you say you hate doing. And honestly, it's been the steadiest part of my entire portfolio. It goes from the lower left to the upper right, just collects income every month. Just pretty freaking awesome.
Sounds so boring. It must be like watching paint dry.
It is, but that's what I like about it, right? Not everything needs to be a YOLO. Like I got enough speculative bets. Like I've got my real estate. I've got my paid to play portfolio that we're selling strangles in. Like those are more steady assets that don't, go up and down as aggressively as some of the other bets that we're placing here, which is great, which allows me, people are like, oh, JC, it's irresponsible for you to buy that. It's like in a vacuum, perhaps, but when you look at everything else I got going on, it's not irresponsible at all, right?
Yeah. My dad was telling me this weekend, he's like, you should buy more dividend stocks. I'm like, maybe one day, Dad.
I'm
not trying to make a little bit.
When I'm your age, maybe. Yeah.
I'm trying to make a lot of money.
Yeah. We're trying to get a boat up in here. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Elsewhere on the news front, I don't know if you guys saw this over the weekend. South Korea joined the club. I think China is also in this club, where they banned short selling, which they had done before. I think they did that during COVID as well.
And they'll do it again. Yeah.
You gotta be some commie bastards to ban short selling.
June 2024 until the end of June 24, short selling is banned in South Korea. South Korean index up there on the screen just had its best day since March 2020, actually. After that news came out. So yeah, good luck selling anything in South Korea. At least if you don't own it.
One of the great things about America is your ability to short bad companies and bad stocks all the way to zero. See them say goodbye.
Yeah,
sure that in other countries is very unfortunate to that population.
You need buyers and sellers to have a true fair market, and if you want to juice it. You know what I mean? But then the chicken will come home to roost eventually, right?
And the great thing, and people forget about short sellers. Again, people who either haven't done their homework or are bad at math. You hear them say how bad short sellers are. Short sellers are promising to buy your stock. Short sellers are guaranteed future buyers. Shareholders are only guaranteed future sellers, right? If you're long a stock, you're just guaranteeing that you're going to sell it one day. If you're short the stock, you're guaranteeing that you're going to buy it one day, like guaranteed, no matter what.
Unless it goes to zero.
Well, you have to but you have to take profit somewhere at a penny, 2 pennies, whatever. Yeah, you're promising to buy the stock.
Listen,
it's a very important part of the market.
It's an essential function to any free market system. Like you need those people to come in, weed out the bad companies, take the other side. It's actually crucial also from a liquidity providing standpoint.
Yeah.
These other markets, like everybody's like, oh, India, this. Listen, Asia, none of them are free. I got news for you. None of these markets are free. Even look at Japan. Look what the Bank of Japan has done. Their bond market. Like
negative
none
rates.
Of these markets are free. They might say they're free and try to be free. They're not free markets like we have here. So.
Dennis Dicko talks about how the SEC banned shorting in like a few bank stocks in like 08.
Not a few bank stocks.
All of them.
All right, fine.
And
then
other stocks too, and the market crashed.
Yeah, and it didn't help matters at all. Made it a whole lot worse.
Made it worse. That's right. I was short. I remember.
Yeah.
A lot of shout outs for Dennis Dick tonight.
What
Why
else?
Don't you have him on the show?
I can try. I mean, he like live trades the open like a dog, so it'll be difficult to get him on. Like at this time of day is tough for him. I can try though.
I don't know who Fahmy Kadir is, but we should get Mark Cahodes. We can get Mark on, I think. That's
yeah.
I mean, seller of my career by far.
The greatest short seller of your career.
Probably the greatest short seller in the history of markets, I would say.
Wow.
He's been amazing. Just so good.
You know what I love? I'm going to go back and read it. Back in like the 1870s and 1880s, all the Jew short sellers, right?
Yeah, what?
It was the Jewish short sellers.
Wow.
Built. Yeah. It was the Jews in like the 1870s and 80s. They crushed, dude.
Really?
Yep. Go back and read about those stories. It was fascinating.
What are you laughing at?
That's what I thought you said, but I just wasn't sure if I heard you correctly.
Oh yeah, I'm serious. Okay. Well, remember, there's a reason why the Jewish community dominates in Wall Street is because the Catholics back in the day, the Italians and the Irish, couldn't be in the banking world because it was against their religion at the time, or so they thought. And the Jews are like, well, that's stupid. We'll run the banks, you know?
All right. Okay. Elsewhere on the news front, the founder and CEO of Bumble is stepping down. Whitney Wolf Herd. She was also one of the founders of Tinder, by the way. But
is that where you met your wife on Bumble?
No, actually, it is not. She's stepping down.
Right.
That's right. The CEO of Slack is taking over Bumble next year. So
listen, these companies are really struggling. Yeah. They can't seem to figure it out. Match.com, same problems.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Headline this morning: Citigroup.
What is the problem? Out of curiosity,
there's no business model there. Like this is an app. It's a great app. It's a great service. It is not a great business. No one has proven a way to actually make money from this service yet. So they're trying.
That's surprising. I mean, I'm no fundamental expert, but it seems like, the guys and the gals are always trying to get together,
They have a huge audience. They continue to struggle to monetize it.
Well, when you offer a free service for a decade and then say, "Oh, can you start paying us money now?" People balk at that.
They already met. They already met their significant other by then.
I mean, yeah. Hey, I have a friend that met his wife on Tinder in 2013, before it was cool or normal to do that. So yeah, it's been around for a while. Elsewhere on the news front, Citigroup weighing up to 10% job cuts in several major businesses. They're calling it Project Bora Bora, which I thought was pretty funny. Yeah. So saw that. Tesla planning to build it. Yes, sorry,
Spencer. Let's highlight these news breaks though. We've been saying, you're going to see more and more news of layoffs. They're going to keep coming. Let's make sure we cover them every morning.
Yesterday, anecdotal, one of my contrarian indicator, extended family members comes up to me. He's like, "Yo, JC, I hear recession's coming in February."
What?
So I was thinking about that this morning for whatever reason. I went to the Jewish deli this morning, got myself some fine bagels, and some schmear. That's what they call it in like the Carolinas.
Don't disrespect the schmears. Too many people disrespect the schmear.
Anyway, so
Unacceptable.
I was listening to the radio in the car, and they're talking about the soft landing. Have you heard of the soft landing? You guys heard of this? For two and a half years now, we've been hearing about a recession that's coming that never came. At what point? Because all these smart people come on TV, all these economists and analysts come on TV, and they love to bash the Fed. How bad the Fed is, how the Fed went too much, or it's going to do too much, or they let interest rates stay too low for too long. How about people come on here and say, great job, Jerome Powell. How amazing of a job has the Fed done? And how come everybody hates this take? How come it's so like popular to come on and talk shit about the Fed? They've done a tremendous job navigating a really difficult market, a pandemic, all these people talking about inflation being too high, rates going too high, you're going to crash the market, you're going to blow up the banks. Masterful work by Jerome Powell and company. So I think the Fed deserves like a nice golf clap here for what they've done. I think they're going to pull off a soft landing, and that is very impressive.
I think it just takes so long for any monetary policy to trickle through the actual economy, right? So, it's taken months or years really for not years, but maybe a year, for us to really start to see the impacts of rate hikes, right? And there's just a long delay. So
Listen,
you bash them during the delay, and then once you actually see the results, it's not so bad.
There will be a recession, right? One thing I know is there will be a recession at some point in the future.
I've been reading more and more about a de facto recession, right? That's not.
They come up with
things
to explain things.
Right. Okay.
The fact that there hasn't been one yet, though, right? I think is really impressive, and I think they've done a great job. It's not easy. It's not an easy job.
On the job cuts thing, we had that huge wave of job cuts. Was it last fall? It was about a year ago now. Most of it in tech, right?
All the tech, yeah, right.
A lot of it in tech, and then you had like that headline like stopped in like I don't know the spring. No more job cuts all through the spring, all through the summer. I don't think there's a website I use to track. I forget what it's called now. I'll have to dig it up.
It's going to be more of the real economy stuff now, laying off, right? I think tech did a lot of work already. I'm sure there'll be more, but you're going to see the real economy companies start announcing big layoffs, like Citi.
And overall, Strazza, it's a good thing, right? Because unemployment's too low, which is inflationary. So this is a good thing.
I'm fine with it, but it will speak to or indicate a coming recession, right? As that unemployment rate does start to ramp back up. But you're right; it's coming from a very low level, so it's not the end of the world. And would a little recession be that bad?
No. It's normal, right? Recessions are normal, aren't they?
Yeah.
So. And as I learned last week, they are a choice.
Well, they're a choice for a lot of us.
And great point, Jack, right? Because the risk for the big risk for the Fed, in my opinion, years back when we were looking at how low interest rates were, it was holy cow. If we were to fall into a deep and ugly recession right now, they have no tools. Like they're already buying treasuries like hand over fist, right? At this point, they're stimulating. When interest rates are zero, you have no tools. Like you need interest rates to be at a certain level so you could come in with a big cut and stimulate the economy. When you're at zero, if something bad were to take place, they're fucked, right? Excuse me, French.
We've been there. They get creative, Straz. I don't know if you've noticed.
How many more bonds could they buy? I mean,
you could have said that 15 years ago.
Well,
I think that was the true predicament. That was the big risk for the Fed. Now we're at 5%. They got a beautiful cushion to work with, right? If and when we go to a recession, they, do a double, throw in a spicy double, right?
Ooh.
50, boom. Not enough. Another spicy double, another 50, boom. Right? They have.
I got a spicy take. If you want to hit the recess bumper.
Yeah, me too. Let's do it.
All right, you guys don't want to do chart. You guys don't want to do chart report at all?
No, we'll do it tomorrow.
I want to talk about food
tomorrow. I got a lot for recess as well. All right, we'll do it.
Start.
I am not generally a fan of the scooped bagel. If you're gonna eat the bagel, Don't hold on. Let me finish. Don't jip me on the schmear, right? You can never have too much schmear. You could take some off, but you can never add more, right? So you always want to err on the more aggressive side of the schmear. Number one. Number two, in a breakfast sandwich, I prefer the roll, right? The old Kaiser roll, right? When we go with a bacon, egg, and cheese. But if you don't have a roll, I would rather go with a scooped out everything bagel. Because if you have all bread on the everything bagel, it's too much for the bacon, egg, and cheese. So if I want to simulate the roll, I'll go with a scooped out everything. And in that case, as a professional, I think it's acceptable.
Can I ask a question?
This is why I love you. Hold on. We were eating bagels yesterday. I was with my parents. We were in like Palm City, Florida. And my mom goes, "Oh my God, there's too much cream cheese on the bagel." I said, "What is wrong with you? There should be too much cream cheese on the bagel. You take it off and you leave how much you want. What if they didn't give you enough cream cheese? Then we have real problems." So 100% with you. We just see eye to eye with food a lot.
Can I have a question? I never heard of a scoop bagel until probably 2 months ago. When did these become a thing all of a sudden? Am I just the last person?
They've been around forever. Yeah, like in college, like the girls that are trying to stay thinner, they would get them scooped out.
Never heard of it.
Yeah,
never heard of it.
I remember.
All right. That's silly. Whatever.
Okay.
That's not
By the
a
way,
bagel.
Let me tell you something. The bagels in California, seriously, it's disgusting. It is atrocious.
You can't eat it.
You can't eat it.
It can't possibly be worse than the bagels in Michigan. It can't possibly.
I've never had a bagel in Michigan because I know better than that.
It can't
but
possibly. All right. Strazza, what do you got?
I was in Florida this weekend, and we were visiting my parents, looking at some places. We're going to be moving on up to Florida. And they said, "What do you want for dinner?" I said, "I want pizza." There is surprisingly good Italian food in South Florida because it's all just a bunch of Italians who have moved down from the
bunch of New Yorkers. Yeah.
Listen to this. My dad said, "I got just the place," right? So Pepe's, I'm talking about the one Frank Pepe. If you haven't heard of him, Google him. It's the best pizza in the world. There's a guy who moved down, worked at Pepe's his whole life, moved down to Stewart. It's like a couple blocks from my parents' house, right on Federal Highway. It's called Fantini's New Haven Style Pizza. And this pizza was phenomenal. It's Pepe's down in South Florida. It basically tastes exactly the same. Some people might like it more because they don't like how thin Pepe's is. Got a little girth to that crust there. It's nice. It's chewy. It's fantastic. Perfect char. Just excellent pizza. Fantini's. If you're ever in like Stewart, Port St. Lucie area, you got to go there. The pizza's fantastic.
Spencer, ask Strazza
Right,
how many times he's been to a Mets spring training game.
Never. Port St. Lucie.
What else is there to do in Port St. Lucie?
It's the only reason I've even heard of that place.
I was going to say, it's the only reason I know it exists.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to play a lot of golf. That's what I'm going to do there. So,
all right.
A lot of golf. Also,
all right.
Ever driving down through the Keys, one more, you got to reach out to me because I could do like a food truck tour. I'm talking just food trucks now, not the fancy restaurants on the water. There is like some excellent food in the Florida Keys, but you really have to know the Florida Keys to get it, right? Like it took me years to figure this out. I can give you so much good info. If you want Haitian food, I know where to go. If you want tacos, there are some awesome tacos in Key Largo, Yahuales, it's called. The best Cuban food in the Keys is not in Key West. It's in Marathon, La Nina. So if you're ever doing that drive, please hit me up. I would love to give you all the great food spots.
Noted. All right. I had quite a weekend myself between moving and celebrating the 1-year anniversary with the wife. And it wasn't thank you. It wasn't just a move for us because when we moved from Michigan to New Jersey, summer 2022, we moved into a furnished apartment. So a lot of our stuff went into storage, and about 3/4 of our wedding gifts also went into storage. So we are now like unboxing wedding gifts basically a year later, and we don't even know what we have.
It's like
so,
Christmas.
For example, but yes, but it's confusing. So, like for example, I mentioned at the top of the show, I don't have heat at the moment, which is why I'm wearing a sweater. So we had like random blankets on Friday night, and then Saturday morning I open a box and I find a comforter. I had no idea we had one. Like and that's how the weekend went. We keep finding things that we don't even know we have. We have apparently like 5 sets of dishes. I don't know why we need that, but we do. We have like a
You
dozen
don't.
boards. We have a dozen cutting boards, but we don't have any dish towels. Go figure, right? I have no clue. We have no clue what we have. So we're moving while also unboxing gifts at the same time. It's very confusing. And very overwhelming. And this place looks like a goddamn mess.
Get anything good? Somebody get you like an air fryer?
So on that note, we have I think we have every kitchen fun toy that you could think of. We have it.
Yeah.
We have a pressure cooker. We have a slow cooker. We have an air fryer. We have a food processor. We have a blender. We have a freaking fondue set, which we're never going to use.
Never.
You need a big kitchen. I hope you
we have every kind of pan. We have a wok. We have 2 cast irons.
Wok's a big one. That's a good one.
Wok's good.
It takes up space. It's huge.
No, but you're going to use it a lot. Woks are good.
2 cast irons. We don't need 2 cast irons.
I'd argue you do.
We don't have room for the amount of kitchen crap that we have, frankly. It's like, I don't know why. I guess half of our gifts were like kitchen related. I don't know why, but I guess they were. Yeah, it's chaos.
You gotta get bear claws. You got bear claws?
Like for salad?
No.
Like bear claws.
You don't know
What are
bear
bear
claws?
It's a pastry.
No, bear claw to cut. You don't have one, Strazza? Spencer?
No,
All right.
It is.
No.
I'm gonna send you a housewarming gift there, Spencer, and then Strazza gets some gets one too.
JC, I got you something this weekend.
It's
coming. It's coming your way. There was a sports memorabilia store next to the pizza place. The collection that they had, just blew my mind. Me and my dad didn't leave. Yeah.
All right. Very cool.
Hey, also,
I wanted to I just wanted to mention why the heck doesn't the financial news service, any financial news service, highlight the dollar at all? Because they are not in the business of informing their audience. They're not in the business of helping their audience. They are literally, by definition, in the business of distracting their audience, in many cases maliciously, so that they could sell their precious sponsors ads that they whore themselves out to at your expense, at the expense of their consumers. So just understand that their business model is to hurt their audience every day. That is their job.
They're playing a different game. They're not intentionally trying to hurt anybody.
They are.
And they
are.
Okay.
Guys, I've been doing media since you were in diapers. Trust me, it's malicious. It's malicious.
All right.
What's wrong with the Dolphins, man?
What do you mean? They outplayed KC yesterday. When the game actually matters and they played in these United States of America and not in freaking Germany, they're going to whoop up on them.
They can't beat a good team. It's a problem.
First of all, the 3 teams they lost to are Buffalo, Kansas City, and Philly.
Yeah, and the teams that they beat have a combined record of like 13 and 30 something.
Okay, so is it Miami's fault that that's the schedule that the NFL provided them with?
All I know is you got to beat good teams to win the Super Bowl.
Agreed, and they will.
Okay.
All right.
But
That'll
you got to
be
beat them
a
in
wrap.
January, not in fucking October.
Well,
For us here today, we have the Flow Show coming up later on in the morning, 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time. And we'll see you guys for that. And if not, we'll see you guys tomorrow morning where hopefully I have heat. And go make some money, guys. All right, have a good day.
Adios.
Oh, a cat.
Bye, guys.
Run it. I can't take no loss. I don't even know what it costs.